that I asked the driver if they accepted this load, they would receive an email like this to respond to. They would click on the link, and it's going to open them up, and it's going to show them the trip. So they're going to see here that for the first leg that they need to start off at the Florida terminal and go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then continue to the second leg, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to Chicago Pizza. They can decide at this point in time whether they want it or not. But let's just assume for this reference that they declined and they don't. How is this going to interact with my fleet manager now so they know that this driver said no? As you see here, I now have a lightning bolt. If I click on this lightning, this is telling me that an alert has come through my system. This alert could be from the driver. It can be from if they're on an active trip. We'll be able to get understanding that the trip is running late, they've arrived. The alert is there to keep you continuously informed of what is occurring for your asset at any given time if there is an issue. As you can see here, this is the alert. It tells me the driver declined the load. And again, take note that we have chatter over here because I have the ability to put a chatter information out here. If I want to have a communication back and forth with the driver at this point in time, I can put in there @mention the person and say, do we have a problem? What do we need to do? I really need to take this load, and you can start your negotiation process utilizing this, or you can just say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to unseat that driver, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to put somebody in there, and all you have to do is say, I replaced my driver. I am going to save this, and you're going to see that this was an alert, and it's been handled, and it's been addressed. So you have a historical view of not only what occurred, what actions did I take at that given time.
So Bruce, you showed us that that driver was removed from the load, or I should say declined the load. So to me that means the driver should be removed from the truck, right? How would you do that?
Absolutely. I either have to remove the driver from the truck or remove the truck from the load. But let's in this case show how simplistic it is to take a driver on and off of an asset. I would basically come over, select my asset, and pick driver assignment. As you can see right now, Dottie is associated to this, and I am simply going to come over here and I am going to click the unassign, and Dottie is no longer part of this asset. Dottie is off this truck. I can come in. Jeff says he's willing to take the load. I'm going to put him on this truck and I'm going to save it. Jeff is now seated on this truck. It is as simple as that. The nice part about this as well is I can come back in and view the driver assignments, and I'm going to get a historical record of who's currently seated on the truck and who has previously been seated on this truck.
So question for you, Bruce, then. So what you just did was you showed as if you knew that Jeff was going to be the driver that got assigned to that truck as an available driver, but the tool also allows our users to see a list of unseated drivers that can be married to the truck that perhaps are in the same location.
Absolutely, Dave. So I've got a brand new tractor coming in, and I know that I have to have a driver that's going to be seated on this truck. This driver can be seated on a truck indefinitely, or I can actually go in and put a termination date and time in as well. But for now, let's take Kathleen. We'll take Kathleen down here, and I'll pick her. And I'm going to come up to driver assignment. So I've got my truck and my driver. It's going to autofill everything in. I'm happy with the current start date. I'm going to schedule her to stay on this truck until something occurs, and I'm just going to save it. Now that I've seated Kathleen on the truck, you'll notice that Kathleen is showing up as the seated driver on this asset. And when I look at the driver view, Kathleen is also showing up on this asset as being seated.
So truly a one-stop shop for seating, unseating, and seeing current status of your drivers in your trucks.
Absolutely. And the other nice factor about this is if you need to have more information about Kathleen, all you have to do is click on her name, and it's going to take you to the driver record where you have the full information about that driver, contact information, domiciles. You can edit, you can do whatever you need to do right from this point. So everything that's also designed for is you're no more than one click away from execution.